All right, friends, heard the term winter storm floating around? It's certainly possible, so let's talk about it. Hey, friends, first warning meteorologist Carlyn McCreary here with what you need to know from Oklahoma City. Today is January 19th, and the forecast is coming together to see a possible winter storm for areas of the southeast and even areas of Oklahoma and Texas as we get into the weekend. While the models are coming together, we are still quite a few days out from the event actually happening, which is looking to be Friday night into Saturday for us here in Oklahoma. So it leaves a lot of uncertainty with the forecast. So let's talk about what we know so far. So far, all of the models are showing the possibility for snow, ice, and rain as we go into the end of this weekend for areas of the Midwest and the Southeast, especially. Okay, here's what we do know so far. Confidence is definitely increasing for us to see impactful winter weather, especially as we get into the beginning of this weekend. We are also highly certain that we will see Arctic cold temperatures. We're talking teens, we're talking single digits. Where the uncertainty lies being a couple days out is the exact precipitation amounts, timing, where it will occur the most, and the type of precipitation each area will see exactly. But that's for now. Once we get to the middle of this week, that's when things start coming together more for us to know exact amounts and exact precipitation types for each area. As I mentioned before, we do know that temperatures are going to be well below normal, especially for areas of the southeast that could very well benefit development of ice and snow in those areas. So here's an example of where the uncertainty lies. As I said, we're on Monday. We're tracking this for possibly Saturday early morning hours. This is the GFS model. So we meteorologists use different models to track systems like this. This is one model. As I said, this is the GFS. This is the European model, and this is the Canadian model. So essentially, so far, all of these different models have different setups for this system, but they're all agreeing that we will get some sort of winter precipitation by the time we get to the end of this weekend. Here's another example. This is snowfall depth possibilities for areas of Oklahoma for the GFS model. This is for the European model, and this is for the Canadian model. So this is what we mean when we say that there's a lot of uncertainty to this. We know that there will be impacts, especially as we continue through the weekend, but it's just that question of when, where, and what type that we're still waiting on. By the time we get to the end of this week, we'll have way more answers. As I said, though, we do know we will feel some sort of impacts from this winter weather as we get into this weekend. Here's that probability of at least minor winter weather impacts for areas of the Midwest. You can see how much that increases by the time we get into Friday night and Saturday, which is where a lot of the models are agreeing we will see that wintry precipitation. And then also it increases for areas of the southeast as we go into Saturday night and Sunday for their timing. As I said, though, there are so many unknowns still about exacts for this winter weather event that we will be seeing into this weekend. We do know for sure, though, temperatures will be very cold as we get into the weekend, whether you see precipitation or not. So as we continue going throughout this week and tracking things out, make sure to stay with your local meteorologists and make sure you're keeping up with accurate, updated info as we get closer to this possible event.